Thursday, so we tend to get an update to the drought map. So I did want to talk about that this week because there was a pretty big update. You may not tell that as we look at eastern Nebraska and southeast Nebraska here first, because there is still this large patch of exceptional drought from about Columbus down to Hebron, still affecting a large part of us. And we haven't seen, a whole lot of precipitation through the month of October. Lincoln saw just under an inch and a half throughout the month. So yeah, didn't pick up a whole lot of precipitation through the month, but it wasn't the driest month on record either. And you look towards the west though, a lot of these areas through the Sandhills actually got some relief and are no longer in drought conditions. They were abnormally dry at least, so only about a class of an upgrade, but still anywhere we can relieve some of that drought and get some of those updates, it's a good day. So also looking outside right now, let's talk about those contrails earlier because I don't know, I've had a fascination with aviation and pilots and everything, and so it's really cool to kind of see that because that's kind of what's producing some of our high cloud cover at this moment, kind of floating on by and shouldn't really affect us too much. We've got clear sunny skies for the most part other than those high clouds moving in, and they show up pretty good on satellite radars. You see here in the last few loops or so, that's what's moving across the sky right now, just some of those high clouds. Really not too much going on statewide though other than that, so that's kind of why I wanted to point that out there. And the sun keeps coming up later than later. We were talking about this morning. Tomorrow should be when it rises right on 8 a.m. on the dot, and then we know we'll set those clocks back an hour this weekend. That'll change everything up again like it usually does at this time of the year. But our next rain chance, wanted to talk about that because we know it's been dry for a while. We actually had a period through October where we saw about 10 days through the middle of the month where we didn't really pick up much than a trace here and there, but Stormcast showing things are going to change by Friday morning. You see a lot more cloud cover across the state as we look at noon on Friday. We'll advance this in time because the rain doesn't come till about Friday night and pretty late too. 11 o'clock, you're starting to see maybe some spotty showers working their way into northwest Nebraska. This will be our next wave of energy, it looks like, and finally getting the timing of this right with some of the models. It looks like this chance may float on by and drift to the south and east and maybe produce some light showers in and around the area around daybreak on Saturday, on and off throughout the afternoon before it kind of calms down and kind of skirts on by about 6 o'clock on Saturday. So a small chance at that we see some of that. Some models don't produce all of that or keep it a little bit more towards the north. So I've kind of highlighted some areas where I think the better chances are through that. And I think that model run that I just showed you does one of the best jobs at the chance. It is small at that, but north portions of I-80 I think have the better chance to see some of that rain through Saturday. Other than that, it looks pretty dry across going through much of this weekend, and then we'll talk about late next week too. But right now temperatures across the board are pretty much in the 40s just about everywhere. You look across southeast Nebraska, some warmer spots include Fall City at 46, Aurora now at 47 degrees, even 48 in Hebron. Lincoln will catch up here soon, but a lot of us are going to be headed towards the lower 60s today. Finally above average with temperatures in the lower 60s, and I haven't been able to see that for quite some time. And look at this, by tomorrow morning we should finally be warmer in the upper 30s and low 40s rather than the 20s, teens, and single-digit wind chills I've had to talk about the last couple days. But an early look towards the weekend too shows that slight chance on Saturday, but 60s through this weekend too. Partly cloudy skies and warm temperatures going to stay around for quite some time as we look at the first part of November. This is about November 2nd through the 11th. Some more small chances to see some rain through Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. But look at that, really maybe one night over the next 10 days looks to dip right around freezing, but other than that, everything looks warmer than that. So any precipitation we do see should remain in the form of rain, thankfully. So don't have to talk about snow for a while, but we'll keep an eye on things.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Jessica.